Admiral Sarah Chen stood at the reinforced viewport of Ganymede Station, her weathered face reflected against the backdrop of Jupiter's swirling storms. Below her, in the station's classified manufacturing sector, stood humanity's greatest gamble, the AASV Watchkeeper. The vessel defied traditional naval architecture. Instead of the utilitarian gray hulls that marked human spacecraft, the Watchkeeper's surface rippled with what appeared to be living metal, its hull composed of billions of microscopic quantum-sensitive cells. Each cell could adapt its properties in real time, making the ship not just invisible to sensors, but capable of actively manipulating the space around it. Final neural interface calibrations are complete, Admiral, reported Dr. Marcus Wong, the project's lead scientist. His holographic avatar flickered beside her, displayed through her neural implant. Though I still have reservations about the sync ratio. Chen nodded, understanding his concern. The Watchkeeper wasn't just a ship. It was humanity's first attempt at creating a true symbiosis between human consciousness and machine. The vessel's quantum cellular hull required more than traditional controls. It needed a crew capable of linking their minds directly with the ship's systems. The Vraks didn't leave us much choice, Marcus, Chen replied, watching as maintenance drones swarmed around the vessel like fireflies. Their biotech advantage has pushed us to the brink. We either evolve or we die. The war with the Vraks Empire had begun 3 years ago, when their massive bioorganic ships emerged from previously unknown spatial rifts. Their technology seemed to break fundamental laws of physics, their vessels capable of impossible maneuvers and devastating attacks that could tear apart matter at the quantum level. Humanity had lost 30 colonies in the first year alone. Captain Rivera has arrived, announced the station's AI, interrupting Chen's dark memories. She's waiting in the briefing room. Chen turned from the viewport, her uniform crisp despite the station's recycled air. Time to see if our chosen one is ready for her crown. The briefing room was sparse, dominated by a holographic display of the Watchkeeper's schematics. Captain Maya Rivera stood as Chen entered, her posture perfect but her eyes betraying a hint of anxiety. At 35, she was young for such a command, but her neural compatibility scores were off the charts. Admiral, Rivera saluted. Thank you for this opportunity. Chen waved away the formality. Save your thanks until after you've experienced the neural link, Captain. This isn't like any command you've had before. The Watchkeeper isn't just a ship you'll pilot, it's something you'll become. The holographic display shifted, showing the intricate network of quantum cellular pathways that made up the vessel's nervous system. The ship's hull is composed of artificial cells we reverse-engineered from Vraks biotechnology, Chen explained. But we've taken their concept further. Instead of simple organic computing, we've created a system that can interface directly with human consciousness. Rivera studied the display intently. The sync ratio Dr. Wong mentioned. What are the risks? Honesty time. Chen sighed. We don't fully know. The simulation data suggests everything from complete neural harmony to, well, mental feedback that could leave you vegetative. But without this technology, we're just waiting for the Vraks to finish what they started. Rivera's jaw tightened. I lost my family on New Madrid, Admiral. I'll take any risk to stop that from happening to anyone else. Chen nodded, recognizing the steel in the younger woman's voice. Then let's introduce you to your new body. The walk to the Watchkeeper's main airlock was silent, both women lost in their thoughts. Up close, the vessel's hull seemed to pulse with an inner light, the quantum cellular matrix responding to their presence. The airlock cycled open with a soft hiss, revealing corridors that seemed more organic than mechanical. Beautiful, Rivera breathed, running her hand along a wall. The surface rippled slightly at her touch, like water disturbed by a gentle breeze. The neural interface chamber is this way. Chen guided her through the ship. Your crew is already aboard, running final checks. Remember, they'll be linked to you through the ship's systems. Their experiences, their sensations, you'll feel everything. The neural interface chamber was a spherical room at the heart of the ship, A single chair sat in its center, surrounded by delicate tendrils of the quantum cellular matrix. Rivera approached it with reverence, understanding that this moment would change her forever. Humanity's fate may well rest on what happens in the next few minutes, Chen said softly. Are you ready, Captain? Rivera settled into the chair, watching as the neural interface tendrils began to move toward her. I was born ready, Admiral. Let's show the Vrax what humanity can do. As the quantum cellular matrix made contact with Rivera's neural ports, the ship's lights pulsed in harmony with her heartbeat. The transformation had begun. Humanity's greatest gamble was about to pay off, or doom them all. Through the viewport, Jupiter's storms continued their eternal dance, indifferent to the historic moment unfolding in their shadow. The war was about to enter a new phase, and the ASV Watchkeeper would lead the charge into humanity's uncertain future. Captain Rivera's consciousness expanded through the Watchkeeper's quantum cellular matrix, every surface and system becoming an extension of her own body. The neural interface created sensations beyond normal human experience. She could feel the gentle brush of solar wind against the hull, taste electromagnetic variations in nearby space, and sense the synchronized heartbeats of her neural-linked crew. Neural sync holding at 94%, reported Dr. Wong's voice, seemingly from everywhere and nowhere. All systems nominal. How do you feel, Captain? Rivera took a moment to process the question. How did one describe becoming a ship? I feel complete, she finally answered. Like I've spent my whole life in a box and someone just showed me there are no walls. The Watchkeeper's first patrol route would take them through the Kuiper Belt, testing their stealth systems against automated sensor buoys. But fate had other plans. Contact. Lieutenant Sarah Chen's voice echoed through the neural network. 3. No, 5 Vrax signatures emerging from a spatial rift. Classification matches their deep reconnaissance vessels. Rivera felt the information flow through the ship's systems directly into her consciousness. The Vrax ships were approaching a transport route used by civilian vessels evacuating the outer colonies. Their bioorganic hulls pulsed within sickly green light, tentacle-like appendages writhing in the vacuum of space. They're not supposed to be here, Rivera thought. The ship's tactical systems automatically calculating possible engagement scenarios. This far into our territory, they must be planning something big. Through the neural link, she felt her crew's tension, their memories of past Vrax attacks creating ripples of fear and determination in the shared consciousness. But there was something else too, a fierce joy at finally having the means to fight back. Battle stations, Rivera commanded, the order carrying through neural pathways rather than comm systems. The Watchkeeper's quantum cellular hull began shifting its properties, each microscopic cell adjusting its quantum state to bend light and other forms of detection around the ship. The Vrax vessels moved with their characteristic organic grace, unaware of the predator watching them. Rivera could sense the alien biosignatures through the ship's enhanced sensors, patterns of energy that suggested they were gathering intelligence for a larger force. We can't let them report back, Rivera decided. Tactical, prepare the quantum disruptor. Engineering, divert power to forward arrays. The Watchkeeper's innovative weapons system had been designed specifically to counter Vrax biotechnology. Instead of conventional energy weapons, it generated fields of quantum instability that could unravel the complex biological matrices the aliens used in their ships. Rivera guided the ship closer, feeling each minor adjustment as if she were moving her own body. The neural link allowed for precision that would have been impossible with traditional controls. They slipped between gravitational eddies, using natural phenomena to mask their approach. Range optimal, reported the tactical officer, the information flowing directly into Rivera's consciousness. Quantum disruptor charged and ready. Rivera took a moment to study their targets through the enhanced sensors. The Vrax ships were arranged in a standard search pattern, their organic sensors prodding space around them. Their overconfidence in their technological superiority had made them careless. Target the lead vessel, Rivera commanded. Let's show them what humanity's been working on. The quantum disruptor powered up, drawing energy from the ship's revolutionary power core. Through the neural link, Rivera could feel the weapon's effect on space itself, a localized disruption in the quantum field that would tear apart the Vrax ship's biological components at the subatomic level. The first shot struck without warning. The lead Vrax vessel's bioorganic hull began to unravel like a sweater caught on a nail. The alien ship writhed, its organic components trying desperately to maintain cohesion as quantum forces pulled it apart. The remaining Vrax ships reacted with characteristic speed, their hulls morphing to generate defensive fields. But they were fighting blind, unable to locate the source of the attack through the Watchkeeper's advanced stealth systems. Second target locked, Rivera announced, feeling the quantum disruptor realign through her neural link. Fire. Another Vrax vessel succumbed to the quantum disruption, its hull dissolving into a cloud of rapidly dispersing particles. The remaining ships began emergency spatial rift generation procedures. They were trying to escape. Not this time, Rivera thought, directing power to the Watchkeeper's engines. The quantum cellular hull rippled with energy as they moved to cut off the aliens' retreat. 2 more shots from the quantum disruptor found their marks, leaving only one Vrax ship attempting to flee. But as they moved to engage the final target, Rivera felt something through the neural link, patterns in the enemy ship's energy emissions that the normal sensors hadn't detected. "Wait," she ordered, holding fire. "There's something different about this one." The last Vrax vessel was transmitting massive amounts of data, not a distress call or tactical information, but something far more complex. Through the enhanced perception granted by the neural interface, Rivera could sense fragments of the transmission. They're coordinating something, she realized. A major offensive. This isn't just a reconnaissance mission. They're laying the groundwork for an invasion force. The final Vrax ship managed to generate its spatial rift, escaping before they could bring weapons to bear. But they had gained something potentially more valuable than another kill: intelligence about the enemy's plans. As the Watchkeeper's crew began analyzing the captured transmission data, Rivera maintained their stealth position, feeling the quantum cellular hull adjust to maintain their invisibility. Their first engagement had proven the ship's capabilities beyond doubt, but it had also revealed that they were running out of time. The real test was yet to come. The decoded Vrax transmission data painted a nightmare scenario. A massive invasion fleet was gathering near the Proxima Centauri colony, preparing to launch a devastating attack that would split Earth's defensive forces. But buried within the tactical data was something even more urgent. A smaller Vrax force was already moving to eliminate the isolated research outpost on Kepler 186. "They know," Rivera realized, her thoughts echoing through the Watchkeeper's neural network. "They know we've reversed engineered their technology." Admiral Chen's holographic avatar appeared in Rivera's enhanced perception. "Kepler 186F houses our primary quantum research facility. If the Vrax destroy it, we lose any hope of building more ships like the Watchkeeper." "How long until the main invasion fleet arrives?" Rivera asked, already calculating possible intercept trajectories through the ship's navigation systems. 48 hours at best, but the strike force heading to Kepler 186 will arrive in less than 6. The impossible math hung in the shared consciousness of the crew. Kepler 186F was 20 light-years away. Even with their advanced propulsion, the Watchkeeper would need at least 10 hours to reach it, long after the Vrax attack would be over. Unless... "Dr. Wong," Rivera called through the neural link. "The quantum fold drive. Is it ready?" A tense silence filled the network. The quantum fold drive was the Watchkeeper's most experimental system, designed to exploit the same spatial rifts the Vrax used for faster-than-light travel. But unlike the alien technology, it attempted to do so by folding space itself through quantum manipulation. "The simulations are promising," Wong's voice carried his concern. "But a jump of that distance, the strain on the quantum cellular matrix would be unprecedented. We could lose cohesion entirely. Rivera felt the fear ripple through her neural-linked crew, but underneath it was something stronger: determination. Through their shared connection, memories flowed. Colonies reduced to ash, families lost, humanity pushed to the brink of extinction. Better to die trying than watch another world fall, Rivera decided. All hands, prepare for quantum fold initialization. The Watchkeeper's hull began to vibrate as power redirected to the experimental drive. Through the neural interface, Rivera could feel the quantum cellular matrix straining as it prepared to manipulate the fabric of spacetime itself. Structural integrity at maximum, reported engineering. Quantum field generators online. Plot a course for Kepler 186 of, Rivera commanded. Let's hope those simulations were right. The quantum fold drive engaged with a sensation that defied description. Reality seemed to bend around the ship, space twisting like a piece of paper being folded by giant hands. Through the neural link, Rivera felt every crew member's consciousness stretch with the fabric of space itself. For a moment that seemed to last both an instant and an eternity, the Watchkeeper existed everywhere and nowhere. The quantum cellular hull screamed in protest as fundamental forces tried to tear it apart. Warning signals flooded the neural network, threatening to overwhelm the crew's linked minds. Then, with a flash of impossible light, they emerged. Kepler 186f's red dwarf sun filled their view, and with it, the nightmare they'd raced to prevent. 3 Vrax capital ships hung in orbit, their bioorganic weapons already deploying against the research facility's defenses. Hull integrity at 62%, reported engineering through the neural link. Quantum matrix is destabilizing. We can't take another fold jump. Rivera pushed aside the warnings, focusing on the tactical situation. The Vrax ships were larger and more numerous, but they hadn't detected the Watchkeeper yet. More importantly, they were arranged in an attack formation that left them vulnerable to a rear assault. Divert all remaining power to weapons, Rivera ordered. We'll only get one chance at this. The quantum disruptor charged as they moved into position, the stealth systems straining to maintain their invisibility. Rivera could feel the ship's damaged systems through the neural link. They were holding together through sheer willpower and the adaptive nature of the quantum cellular hull. First target locked, tactical reported. Quantum field at maximum intensity. Fire. The first Vrax ship never saw the attack coming. The quantum disruption field tore through its bioorganic hull like paper, the massive vessel dissolving into its component atoms. But the element of surprise was gone. The remaining Vrax ships reacted instantly, their hulls morphing into defensive configurations as they turned to face the threat. Energy beams capable of reducing planets to slag lanced out, searching for their attacker. Evasive maneuvers. Rivera's command flowed through the neural network as the Watchkeeper danced between the deadly beams. The quantum cellular hull adapted continuously, bending light and energy around them, but they couldn't maintain stealth under such intense fire. A glancing hit sent shockwaves through the ship's systems. Through the neural link, Rivera felt her crew's pain as if it were her own. The quantum cellular matrix was failing, their revolutionary technology pushed beyond its limits. But they weren't finished yet. Reroute everything to the quantum disruptor, Rivera ordered. Every scrap of power we've got left. The Watchkeeper's systems responded, drawing energy from life support, artificial gravity, everything but the neural interface itself. The quantum disruptor charged one final time, its power levels exceeding all safety parameters. The 2 remaining Vrax ships launched a combined attack, their bioorganic weapons synchronizing to saturate space with deadly energy. But in doing so, they made a critical mistake. They moved closer together. Target both ships, Rivera commanded. Wide dispersal pattern. The quantum disruptor fired, its beams splitting into a cone of reality-warping energy. Both Vrax vessels were caught in the field, their biological technology unable to resist the fundamental forces being unleashed against them. As the alien ships disintegrated, the Watchkeeper's systems began to fail. The quantum cellular hull was losing cohesion, the strain of combat, and the experimental fold jump finally taking its toll. But below them, Kepler 186's research facility remained intact. Humanity's future was secured. "Send word to Earth," Rivera ordered, feeling the ship's systems shutting down around her. Tell them humanity's about to change the rules of this war." The message was sent just as emergency backup power kicked in. As repair drones swarmed over the Watchkeeper's damaged hull, Rivera allowed herself a small smile. They had done the impossible. And this was only the beginning. The news of the Watchkeeper's impossible victory spread through human space like wildfire. In secure bunkers on Earth, military strategists pored over combat footage, analyzing every aspect of the ship's performance. In orbital shipyards, engineers began adapting the quantum cellular technology for mass production. But in the medical bay of Ganymede Station, Captain Rivera fought a more personal battle. "Neural inflammation is finally subsiding," Dr. Wong reported, studying the holographic scans floating above Rivera's bed. "But the quantum resonance in your neural patterns, I've never seen anything like it." Rivera could still feel echoes of the Watchkeeper systems, phantom sensations of spatial awareness and quantum states that no human was meant to process. The neural interface had changed her in fundamental ways. "The ship," she managed to ask, "how bad is the damage?" "The quantum cellular matrix is regenerating, surprisingly fast, almost as if," Wong hesitated, "almost as if it's trying to get back to you." Before Rivera could process that information, Admiral Chen strode into the medical bay. Her usual composed demeanor was cracked by excitement. "We've decoded more of the VRAC's transmission data," she announced. "What we found changes everything." Through her recovering neural link, Rivera accessed the decoded files. The VRACs weren't just fighting a war of conquest. They were running from something. Their biological technology, their spatial rifts, even their aggressive expansion. It was all driven by fear of an enemy that had chased them across galaxies. "They're called the Void Hunters," Chen explained. "A machine race that consumes biological civilizations. The VRACs thought they'd found sanctuary in our galaxy, but they brought their nightmare with them," Rivera finished. The implications were staggering. The VRACs weren't invincible conquerors. They were refugees fighting for survival, just like humanity. "There's more," Chen continued. "The quantum technology we developed. It's not just similar to VRAC's bioorganic systems. It's actually more advanced. We didn't just copy their technology. We improved it. The Watchkeeper isn't just a weapon against the VRACs. It might be our only hope against what's coming." Rivera sat up, ignoring the protest of her healing body. "How long until the Void Hunters arrive?" "Based on VRAC's data, less than a month. But right now, we have a more immediate problem. The VRAC's main fleet is still coming, and they're desperate. Our victory at Kepler 186 proved we can hurt them, so they're throwing everything they have at us. Nearly 1,000 ships." The numbers should have been terrifying, but Rivera felt an odd calm. Through her recovering neural link, she could sense the Watchkeeper calling to her, its quantum cellular matrix resonating with her altered consciousness. "You're not cleared for duty," Wong protested, but Rivera was already standing. "The neural interface changed me, Doctor. Changed all of us who linked with the ship. We're not just pilots anymore. We're something new. And right now, that's exactly what humanity needs." In the station's massive construction bay, dozens of new ships were taking shape, their hulls gleaming with quantum cellular matrices. Each would need a neural-linked crew, pioneers willing to evolve beyond normal human limitations. The VRACs fled from machines by becoming more organic, Rivera observed, watching the construction through the medical bay's viewport. "We'll fight machines by becoming something between organic and technological. A true synthesis." Admiral Chen nodded. "The first new crews are already in training. Neural compatibility screening has identified hundreds of candidates. But the Vrax fleet will arrive before we can launch more than a handful of ships. Then we'll have to make those ships count, Rivera said, feeling strength return to her body as the quantum resonance in her neural patterns stabilized. The Watchkeeper showed us what's possible. Now we just have to convince the Vrax that fighting humanity is more dangerous than facing the Void Hunters together. Through the station's sensors, Rivera could feel the approaching Vrax fleet like a storm on the horizon. But she could also sense something else. The quantum cellular matrices of the new ships pulsing in harmony, reaching out to their future crews. Humanity was changing, evolving into something that could face not just the Vraxes, but the greater threat that lurked between the stars. The real war hadn't even begun. The Watchkeeper hung in space like a predatory shadow, its quantum cellular hull fully regenerated and thrumming with power. Behind it, 5 newly commissioned vessels of the same class formed a defensive line around Earth. Through their linked neural networks, Rivera could feel the consciousness of each ship's crew, their minds adapted and enhanced by the same quantum resonance that had changed her. Vrax fleet emerging from spatial rifts, announced Lieutenant Chen, her voice echoing through the neural link. 973 ships confirmed. The enemy vessels emerged like a tide of living metal, their bioorganic hulls writhing as they prepared for battle. But Rivera noticed something different in their formation. Hesitation, uncertainty. The Vrax had never faced an enemy that could match their technology, let alone surpass it. All ships, initialize quantum field generators, Rivera commanded, feeling the response through the linked consciousness of the human fleet. But hold fire. Let's try something different. Using the enhanced communications capability of the quantum cellular matrix, Rivera broadcast directly into the Vrax command network. The alien consciousness that responded was vast and complex, a collective intelligence born of biological technology. We know about the Void Hunters, Rivera transmitted. We know why you run. The Vrax fleet's advance halted. Through the quantum link, Rivera sensed their surprise, their fear, and underneath it all, their exhaustion. For centuries they had fled across the galaxy, watching civilization after civilization fall to the machine intelligences that pursued them. Your biological technology cannot stop them, Rivera continued. But perhaps together, we can create something new. Something neither purely organic nor purely mechanical. Images flowed through the quantum network, the Watchkeeper's hybrid technology, the synthesis of human consciousness with quantum systems, a path forward that neither species had imagined possible. But a faction within the Vrax fleet rejected the offer. Dozens of ships broke formation, their weapons charging. They're targeting the civilian populations, Tactical reported. Pattern matches their extinction protocols. Quantum disruptors online, Rivera commanded. Selective targeting only. Show them what we can do. The 6 human vessels moved with impossible coordination, their neural-linked crews operating as a single consciousness. The quantum cellular hulls adapted and shifted, bending reality around them as they engaged the hostile Vrax ships. The battle that followed would be studied for generations. The human ships danced through enemy fire, their quantum disruptors striking with surgical precision. Each shot found its mark, disassembling the hostile ships at the quantum level while leaving the surrounding space undisturbed. Through it all, Rivera maintained the quantum communication link with the main Vrax consciousness. This is what evolution looks like, she transmitted. Not conquest, not extinction, but synthesis, adaptation, growth. More Vrax ships began standing down, their bioorganic systems resonating with the quantum frequencies of the human vessels. They recognized something of themselves in this new technology, the drive to survive, to adapt, to become something greater. Multiple contacts. Lieutenant Chen's warning cut through the neural network. Spatial anomalies forming. These aren't Vrax signatures. The void between stars began to tear open, revealing creatures of pure machine logic. The Void Hunters had arrived early, drawn by the quantum disturbances of the battle. Their ships were geometric perfection, every angle and surface designed for optimal efficiency in eliminating biological life. But they had never encountered anything like the combined human Vrax fleet. All ships, defensive formation, Rivera ordered, feeling the agreement of both human and alien consciousness through the quantum network. Let's show them what happens when you corner two species that refuse to die. The Watchkeeper led the charge, its quantum cellular hull adapting to match the Void Hunter's attack patterns. Behind it, Vrax's bioorganic vessels merged their capabilities with human quantum technology, creating defensive screens that even machine intelligence couldn't penetrate. As the battle raged, Rivera felt something unprecedented emerging through the neural link, a true synthesis of human, Vrax, and machine consciousness, each contributing its strengths to create something entirely new. The quantum cellular matrices of both fleets began to resonate in harmony, generating fields of possibility that defied the rigid logic of the Void Hunters. "We are not your prey," Rivera transmitted on all frequencies, human, Vrax, and machine. "We are evolution itself." The Void Hunters' perfect formations began to break as their certainty wavered. They had evolved to hunt purely biological or purely mechanical life. This hybrid force, this symphony of quantum consciousness, was beyond their experience. As the machine fleet retreated, pulling back to recalculate their fundamental assumptions, Rivera looked out at the combined human Vrax armada. Organic ships pulsed in harmony with quantum cellular hulls, two species united not by conquest, but by the drive to become something more. "Send word to Earth," she commanded, feeling the approval of countless minds through the neural network. "Tell them to begin mass production of the hybrid ships. The real work is just beginning." The Watchkeeper's quantum cellular hull shimmed with new possibilities as the first light of Earth's sun touched its surface. Humanity hadn't just survived. It had shown the galaxy a new path forward. Not through dominance, not through purity, but through the courage to evolve beyond their limitations. The dawn of a new era had arrived, and its light would reach far beyond the stars.